Maki and Toji are not the same. Let me explain. While their upbringing in the Zenin clan, both being born with no cursed energy, was similar, that's where the similarities end. It's funny because the two Jujutsu Kaisen fan bases that hate each other the most are Toji and Maki Glazers. When you peel back the layers, even their histories with the Zenin clan differ. This leads to both characters differing in their goals, actions, and overall philosophies. In this video, I'm going to break down every aspect of their characters that make them different, and by the end of it, hopefully you can decide which of these two is the best Maki. For starters, to understand their difference in philosophies, it's important to look at their upbringings. Like I said, while they were similar, there were still a few differences. Both were ridiculed by the Zenins for having no cursed energy, although Maki arguably had the worst experience. She and her sister Maya had to deal with the disrespect not only because of their lack of cursed energy, but also misogyny from the male Zenin clan members. On top of that, Maki wasn't physically gifted like Toji. Her and Maya's heavenly restriction was weaker because they actually did have a little cursed energy shared between the two of them. Basically, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, Maki and Maya were useless. I'm talking about shoes with no soles, a car with no wheels, a door with no knob. On the other hand, the family rejected Toji for his lack of cursed energy as well, but his heavenly restriction granted him physical abilities that put him on par and even ahead of other family members in strength. Because of this, he didn't face the same level of ridicule as Maki because he could actually defend himself if need be. Nevertheless, both Maki and Maya reluctantly and Toji decided to leave the Zenin clan. Their difference in backgrounds with the Zenin clan led them to setting off with different goals in mind. Maki left with the goal of becoming a great sorcerer in hopes of spiting the Zenins. She planned on working her way up in the sorcerer world to prove to her family that she could be a strong sorcerer despite being born with a lackluster amount of cursed energy. Maki cared about nothing but becoming stronger in order to one day return to the Zenins as a sorcerer worthy of being the head of the clan. She even strained her relationship with her sister because of her fierce dedication to becoming a strong sorcerer no matter what. Her desire to be a Jujutsu sorcerer naturally put her on the side of Jujutsu society fighting curses. This raises the question, which I talked about more in my last video, of whether you can consider her a hero or not. Would she be a Jujutsu sorcerer if her family accepted her and treated her better, or is she just acting selfishly? Personally, I think she started as a sorcerer for selfish reasons, but she grew to want to help and protect people from curses. This is solidified by the fact that she continued to be a Jujutsu sorcerer even after murking her clan. Her goals changed from proving herself to the Zenin clan to fighting curses when she could have easily lost motivation completely for being a sorcerer. On the other hand, Toji had completely different goals compared to Maki. After leaving the Zenin clan, Toji decided to completely separate himself from the sorcerer world, that is until he became a mercenary. Toji realized that he could use his combat skill to spite the world of Jujutsu sorcery by killing sorcerers for money. Basically, this was Toji before this realization. A lot of potential, but he decided to live like a bum. The J. Cole of Jujutsu Kaisen. After working as a mercenary for some time, Toji finds a wife and his entire life changes. He lives a normal life with the goal of just raising a family and kids in the opposite way that he was raised. He names his son Megumi, which means blessing, because Toji saw his child as a blessing, unlike how the Zenins saw Toji as the quote-unquote black sheep of the clan. After unexpectedly losing his wife, Toji went back into a life of mercenary work. After losing the battle of Oro with Kid Gojo, Toji set his sights on taking down Satoru Gojo, the pinnacle of Jujutsu society. Ultimately, in the end, it was Toji's selfishness and pride that led to his downfall. Furthermore, their difference in goals led them down completely different paths. The actions and accomplishments each achieved are another point of contention where people compare these characters. Maki on one hand went full on Kill Bill on the Zenins. I promise I can die happy when this gets animated, by the way, and that's definitely Maki's most notable accomplishment. This is also what most people say puts her above Toji in their eyes. Now me personally, while I do think it was fire for her to do that, I don't necessarily think it puts her above Toji because he could have easily done the exact same thing, but it is a major plus for her character over Toji at the end of the day. Toji's most notable accomplishment, however, is selling his son. Now, but in all actuality, Toji did defeat the two strongest sorcerers of his era, which is an insane accomplishment considering one of them is Satoru Gojo. While Toji did abandon and sell his son for gambling money, which out of context sounds crazy, he did it out of sadness and pain. The loss of his wife caused him to go about life with a high level of indifference and apathy, which caused him to live more recklessly. This lack of care and no specific direction for his life is another reason that ultimately led to his death. The two went down very different paths, and there's an interesting reason for why both chose the paths that they did. This contrast in paths can be explained by their difference in their respective philosophies. Maki took her hatred, which was triggered by the Zenins, and directed it solely at them. Compare this to Toji, who decided to take his hatred out on the sorcerer world as a whole. This This difference is most likely due to the fact that not only, like I mentioned earlier, Maki dealt with worse treatment, but she also had a sister who loved her and understood how she felt. Maki says herself that she wanted to become strong enough to make a place for Mai in the Zenin clan. Maki not only fought for herself, but she also fought for her sister too. Knowing that Mai didn't want to be a Jujutsu sorcerer in the first place, Maki was forced to try to carve her place in the world for her sister, where she didn't have to deal with the disrespect from their family. Basically, because Maki had Mai, she had a reason to not reject the Jujutsu world as a whole. Instead, she set out to get to the top of the Jujutsu world to prove her worth for both her and her sister. Toji went on his own path, completely rejecting Jujutsu sorcery because he didn't have any ties to that world after leaving the clan. Toji's strength was undeniable, meaning he had nothing to prove to the clan when leaving. Toji was fully prepared to live a quiet, normal life with his family. However, the unexpected death of his wife made Toji subconsciously cut all his ties from the world again. He abandoned and sold Megumi and lived a life of hedonism. His entire life became killing sorcerers and gambling. He lived selfishly as a way of coping with his wife's death. He even says he decided to not respect himself or anyone else for that matter, and that was the life that he chose. Ultimately, Maki's philosophy boiled down to doing any and everything to prove her worth as a sorcerer in the eyes of her clan for both her and her sister's sake, while Toji on the other hand chose to take his anger out and spite the sorcerer world as a whole. And while this did change when he started his family, eventually he went back to his old ways. In my videos, I like to look at the characters and see what real life lessons could be learned from their stories, and with these two I think a major theme is the idea of selfishness versus selflessness. The idea that selfishness and the attainment of personal goals is dangerous and ultimately not the answer. Toji, having been on his own since birth, was pretty much fated to be selfish and only caring about himself. Maki on the other hand was born with a twin sister, and both shared the experience of growing up in the Zenin clan with a lackluster amount of cursed energy. This bond over shared experiences pushed Maki to get stronger and move forward with the goal not only for herself but for someone else. Having the support system helps keep her grounded on her journey, and because of this, even after Mai's death, she continues on her path as a sorcerer because she knows there's good in the world that's worthy of fighting for. The same way she fought for Mai's sake before, now she fights for the sake of non-Jujutsu sorcerers. Toji, on the other hand, never had a reason for not living selfishly until he started a family. After losing this family, he resorted back to square one and pursued a life of selfish endeavors that led to his demise. Ultimately, the most important thing to take away is that whatever goals or aspirations you have should be motivated first by how you can help others rather than yourself first. When you chase goals or live selfishly, it leads to a lonely experience, and even when you find people to fill that void, it can be easy to fall back into your old ways if you aren't cautious. If you made it this far in the video, I love you and I'm out. Peace.